for an accessible price. We all know electricity is a commodity whose quality is difficult to quantify. As a lay person, it is not easy for you to judge the quality of the electricity. You can find out whether the electricity is there or not. Okay, if the voltage variations are there, you can easily judge by using a voltmeter. But other things like frequency and so on, harmony, is difficult, and the continuity and all these things. So there should be somebody to guarantee the quality of the electricity supply, both voltage side, frequency side, and also continuity. So these responsibilities are under the Public Utilities Commission. Actually, Public Utilities Commission formulates standards and codes along with the licensing and monitor whether these things are named. As a consumer, you feel that they are equal partners when they deal with the utility. So that is an important thing. But if the consumer is not treated properly, now there is a place they can go and make a complaint. And in handling this complaint, the Public Utilities Commission treats both parties equally. We listen to the consumer and we listen to the licensing, and then only a judgment is taken. And they also need a reliable mechanism to address their needs. Sometimes they never have a grievance, but just the knowledge that there is a mechanism to handle the grievance is very good. So we can say consumer grievance level 1 needs confidence that there is a reliable mechanism to address their needs. The second level is quality of addressing by a third party not dominated by the now capital. So, fair hearing and speedy settlement is also important, because you can make a complaint and if you hear 1 year after that, it is meaningless. But the complaints you receive, most of them we will be able to settle within 2 years. But there are, of course, problems which need longer time and which need bigger investments, such as low voltage or something like that. These things cannot be resolved. And the compensation, if damage is caused to the consumer, and that person should have access to the compensation. Now this report about the complaints we have received in the past, that is up to July. Most of the complaints were about tariff category and clarification on bills and tariffs. Tariff category means, as you all know, CB has number of different categories: industrial tariff, general purpose tariff, domestic tariff, and so on. And how to decide on that tariff is described in a gazette notification. And sometimes the licensee puts the consumer in a category which is advantageous to the licensee, which brings more income, because there is little room for interpretation through that category. And the consumer thinks he is in the wrong category and he is unnecessarily paying more. Then, up to now, they had no mechanism to correct it. They can go to CEB and CEB will not be doing that. Now they can come to Public Utilities Commission. And we have received number of complaints on that type. Every time we send our inspector and they make an independent judgment. And they interpret the best notification independently. And in some cases, we have recommended to change the tariff. In some cases, we have not recommended to change the tariff. So there is a third party to look at that and resolve it. At the very beginning, we received many complaints saying that they think they are overcharged. The consumer thinks they are overcharged, because it is very difficult to do the tariff calculation, domestic sector. Though there are only 2 inputs, and only one output. There are so many formulas connecting that. A lay person finds it very difficult to do that calculation. And after identifying this problem, we resolved it. Now, in our web page, I have seen, if I have copied that, there's an electricity bill calculator here. You can just put your data in, and after the click, you get the total bill calculation. After we have given some publicity to that, actually that effect, and after that, we have practically stopped receiving this type of complaints. And most of the other complaints are disputes on estimated bills. These are the problems. As an example, when you find that your meter is defect, the TV finds that your meter is defect, you don't know when this defect has started. Then what the bill does is, it estimates the bill for the past. Some people estimate for 6 months, some people estimate for 1 year, and so on. There will be an estimated bill effective for the past, because nobody knows when this meter started to show the wrong result. And of course, such estimated bills, consumers never agree. Consumers always think it is too much. But most of the time, it may be correct one value, but the consumers do not agree. And they sometimes dispute, even 6 months, the meter was working till yesterday, they will say. Why are you charging me for 6 months? So that sort of disputes will be there. Of course, this is a difficult situation. We are going to tackle that in future. We are going to lay guidelines, how to make the estimate, and how far it should be valid, and so on. We have rocket finalized that well. And a lot of other problems come with new connections and disconnections, especially with disconnections. Electricity is a commodity you take on loan. When you go to the supermarket and buy something, you pay immediately and take the goods home. But electricity you are consuming, and at the end you are paying. And many people delay their payments. They don't pay monthly. Sometimes they don't have money, they give fire to other things, and they don't pay the electricity. But if you have values for 2 months, the license is set by the LECO has the right to disconnect. Giving notice, 10 days notice should be given. So they have to give a head notice, asking the consumer to pay within 10 days. If that is not done, they go and disconnect. And many consumers realize the trouble only after the disconnection. And many people come to us and complain, my electricity is disconnected, what can I do? Then our advice is go and pay the bill. But LECO has a different approach. We take an advance for 2 months. LECO does not take that advance. And if there are 1 or 2 disconnections, LECO categorizes that as a bad customer and suddenly put that request advance. So after the disconnection, you have a huge bill to pay, because suddenly advance is added. In addition to that, after the disconnection, you have to pay 800 rupees for the reconnection and also 2% interest for the advance. So after the disconnection, you have to pay the huge amount of money. And sometimes people find it difficult to get that money. So many people come to us and complain that, but there we can't help the people, because it is the right of the licensee to get that money. If that money is not there, you can't pay over the supply chain, because that money is used to pay for the petroleum corporation, and petroleum corporation pays for crude oil and so on. So that whole chain is disturbed if the electricity customer does not do. The contribution we can make there is just to educate the people. So we will give publicity to people asking them to make it a practice